Today, I want to talk to you about something many people overlook, but it happens more often than you'd think. Sometimes, a married woman begins to show signs that she's looking for something more outside of her relationship. Maybe it's attention, maybe it's affection, maybe it's simply excitement she feels she's missing at home. But before I go any further, let me make one thing crystal clear. This video is not about encouraging anyone to go after a married woman. On this channel, we are completely against cheating. Betrayal destroys families, it destroys trust, and it hurts people in ways that never truly heal. If you ever find yourself in a situation like this, remember that there's a man on the other side who doesn't deserve to be deceived. Do unto others what you would want them to do unto you. Now, with that being said, let's get into how these situations usually play out. One of the first things you may notice is the speed and urgency with which she responds to you. When someone is interested, they can't resist staying connected. A married woman, even with her husband around, will still find a way to reply quickly. She might excuse herself to the bathroom, pretend she needs to check something in another room, or sneak in a message whenever she gets a chance. She doesn't wait until later. She makes time instantly. And often, this is exactly how many women end up being discovered by their husbands, because they simply cannot hold back. If you see that kind of rapid, consistent response, and especially if she hides those conversations from her husband while insisting you're just a friend, it's a strong signal that her interest goes beyond the ordinary. The second thing that starts to reveal itself is the way she aligns with you. A woman who is truly faithful will recognize when a man's intentions are drifting into dangerous territory, and she will cut it off immediately. But if she's feeling dissatisfied and curious, she won't push you away. Instead, she'll start to play along, joining in on your jokes, your hints, even your more intimate conversations. And alongside this, you'll begin to hear the complaints. Suddenly, her husband is the villain in her story. He doesn't pay attention. He doesn't take her to bed anymore. He doesn't appreciate her. He doesn't care. She positions herself as the victim every time. This is a common pattern because it allows her to justify her actions. In her mind, if her husband is failing her, then she is excused for looking elsewhere. It becomes a way of easing the guilt while drawing you closer. Then comes the stage of flattery. If a married woman starts to shower you with compliments beyond what normal friendship would call for, you need to pay attention. She'll find reasons to admire your looks, your style, your personality, anything that sets you apart. But the subtle game here is that these compliments are often paired with putting her husband down. She'll make comparisons that elevate you while making him seem ordinary, boring, or unworthy. You're so different. I wish my husband was more like you. You really get me in a way he doesn't. These aren't harmless words. They're calculated ways of making you feel special, while also creating emotional distance between her and her spouse. And here's the hard truth. If she can do this to her husband, she can do the same to you someday. Betrayal is not selective. It's a habit. Finally, you'll notice the most obvious sign: her attempts to see you in person. Once she's crossed that mental line, no one can hold her back. She'll adjust her schedule to match yours, show up coincidentally where you are, or find excuses to spend time together. Maybe she'll go to the same gym as you, show up at social events she knows you'll attend, or simply say, "Let's hang out. It's nothing serious." But let's be honest, it's never nothing. It's a direct move toward crossing the boundary. And once a married woman decides to cheat, her conscience often takes a back seat. Desire takes control, and the consequences are left for later. The reality is that getting involved with a married woman is a path filled with complications and pain. It may seem flattering at first, it may even feel exciting, but in the end, it leads to nothing but drama, guilt, and heartbreak. Why settle for something forbidden and unstable when the world is full of single women who are genuinely available? Women who are open to building a relationship that's real, honest, and lasting. Investing your time and energy in someone who is free to love you without secrets is always the better choice. So if you notice a married woman constantly messaging you back in seconds, complaining about her husband, showering you with excessive compliments, and finding every excuse possible to meet up, be wise. Those are not harmless signs. Those are clear invitations to step onto a road that leads nowhere good. Protect yourself, respect her marriage, and choose a path that doesn't involve hurting someone else in the process. Now I want to hear from you. Have you ever been in a situation where a married woman showed you this kind of attention? What did you do and how did you handle it? Share your thoughts and experiences in the comments. I'm curious to know your perspective.